welcome to the official press conference for FloGrappling. Who's number one? Craig Jones versus Luiz Panza. This event is presented to you by Fat Tire, official beer of Who's Number One. They're actually going to be doing a submission bonus this time around. $500. Anybody gets a sub, so that's cool. Gives people a little incentive to go out there and submit somebody. Also, sponsor of this event, VJ Fanatics, Dalamer Defense Soap. Up first, we got our first prelim of the night. The event's kicking off at 8 o'clock Eastern on Friday night, but the first three matches, as always, we put our prelims up free on Facebook and YouTube. The first three matches are going to be free. The next six after that only on FloGrappling.com. First match of the night, on my left, Damien Anderson from the Danaher Death Squad, training at Dorado, Puerto Rico. On my right, from Los Angeles, training under Eddie Bravo at 10th Planet Headquarters, Luis Quinones. So this is going to be a great one. We like to put the up-and-comers on there and let them showcase their skills on the prelims. First off, Luis, how you feeling about this match? What did you think when we offered you to get on Who's Number One?
I'm super pumped. I knew right away when the offer to go against Damien came through. I was super excited. I know he's a guy that I know of, and definitely going to be looking to put on a show against him.
How about you, Damien? How you feeling going into this match?
Yeah, I'm very excited. Obviously, Who's Number One is starting to become like the pinnacle of our sport, and a lot of eyes get on this event. I'm definitely super excited. I know Luis Quinones is a guy that doesn't like to just stall, so he's going to come and push the pace, which is definitely a style that I love competing against.
Luis, he's talking about pushing the pace. We're all about putting on exciting fights here. You guys are the first one kicking it off. You excited to go out there and set a good pace for the night?
Absolutely. I think having the opportunity to be the sort of the starting match of the event is a great way to get the show going. We're going to be looking to light up some fireworks for sure.
How you think you match up with Damien?
Really well. I think we have an interesting kind of stylistic matchup that I think, I think he's going to bring it, I'm going to bring it. I think that sort of clash is going to be really exciting. You're going to see probably some unorthodox stuff. You're going to see some more technical stuff, but definitely going to be a scrap.
Same thing for you, Damien. How do you think you match up with Luis?
Yeah, honestly, I think our styles are really good for viewers. I know he goes for he doesn't seem very afraid of confrontation. So I saw he goes for like flying submissions. He's always trying to push the pace, and that's something that I love. I feel like my jiu-jitsu is best displayed when there's a lot of movement. When it's slow, I feel like I can't really do a lot of the movements that I'd like to do. But when there's a lot of movement, I feel like that's when I really succeed.
All right, another chapter in the ancient rivalry between the Danaher Death Squad and 10th Planet. These are a couple of my boys. Me and Luis went to Kazakhstan together. Me and Damien party on golf carts in Puerto Rico. So this is going to be a great one. Make sure you tune in. Free on Facebook and YouTube. You got no excuse not to watch it. All right, up next we will have Cole Abate and Bird Wiltsey. Close to the mic. All right, second prelim of the night, just like the last one, free on Facebook and YouTube. We have Cole Abate. I think this is your fourth Who's Number One match?
Third.
All right, he's been on him all the way going back to the GI event in Costa Mesa. Feels like it was another lifetime. And we have on my right, Satya Wiltsey, also known as Bird Wiltsey, from the Daisy Fresh series. So first off, Bird, how you feeling going into this match? I mean, your brothers competed on this thing a couple times. Couch did it. What are you thinking about being on Who's Number One?
I'm super pumped to do it. I'm really happy that Cole's the one I'm fighting.
Why are you happy that Cole's the one you're fighting?
Honestly, because I've never really saw him before this. So we could go into the atmosphere of just being friends.
Bird, you ever watch, or Cole, you ever watch that series that we made about them, the Daisy Fresh thing?
I've seen a few episodes. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's all
You worried about his magical powers?
You never know.
It's not me, it's my mom.
No, I know that I'm prepared for everything. I've been having really good training at the academy, and I'm confident wherever the fight will go. So, can't wait.
Cool.
Bird, have you watched much of his jiu-jitsu? Obviously, he's a lot younger than you. Have you researched him at all or anything?
I typically only, when I'm fighting someone, I only want to know what they're going to do at the start of the match. And then I really, unless they're incredible at something specific, I just don't care what they're going to do. I shouldn't be reacting to what they're doing anyways. I should be the one pushing the pace if I truly want to win.
Same question for you. Have you looked at any of Bird's matches? How do you think you match up with him? Have you studied him at all?
No, not really. I always try to focus on myself, and like I said before, I'm confident wherever the fight can go. So I feel that I'm dangerous if I'm on top, if I'm on bottom, if we're on the feet. So I always like to feel like I'm a threat wherever the fight goes. So.
All right, let's kick it over to the fan questions. I forgot to do this for the first match. First off, Connor, Steve's in there?
Steve's in here. He's
Shout
holding
out
us
to our
down.
moderator, Steve. Actually, Colabate knows who you are. Asked me about you when he was sitting down. Connor, what's going on in the chat? You got any questions for these guys?
Speaking of, we got one for Cole from Steve, so we're putting you guys together now. He said leg attacks are what Bird is known for, and we've kind of seen that before. And you demonstrated a pretty good leg lock defense game and a leg game yourself in the last Who's Number One. Are you looking to dive more into the leg entanglement game, or are you looking to play something else to stay out of it?
No, I always like to describe my style as like it's freestyle. It's wherever the fight goes. I'm confident that I can get the submission or put pressure on my opponent until they make a mistake. But yeah, with leg locks, it's something that we've always studied and focused on at the academy. It's definitely when people look at us, they think, like they just do IBJJF, or they're mainly known for their points and whatever. But no, we work no-gi, we work gi. We're always practicing all roll sets. So yeah, definitely feel good with this one, and leg locks won't be a problem.
Awesome. We also got two, but I'm going to condense them into one for Bird just because they kind of hit the same thing. What crystals specifically do you recommend for a young aspiring wizard and or BJJ athlete?
Who asked that one?
That was our GS. He's always causing trouble. We got to be careful with him.
So, I don't really know that much about crystals. I feel like I should just send this question to my mom. The only crystals I really know about is hematite is supposed to calm you down, and angelite allegedly heals you. So I guess that's pretty important. I don't think hematite would be very good for the sport if it's true.
Good info, Bird. Well, let's see. Crystal expert, direct all your crystal questions to his DMs. Thank God for the fan questions. I'm so goddamn worthless up here. I just asked the same thing over and over again. On my left, Colabate, 16-year-old phenom. On my right, Bird Wiltsey from the Daisy Fresh series, Pedigo Submission Fighting. Up next will be our third prelim of the night, Mica Galvao and Andrew Tackett. All right, thanks. All right, this is one of my favorite matches of the night, maybe my favorite. A lot of people, when we released it, were super pumped on this one. Third and final prelim of the night. On my right, Mica Galvao, training out of Fight Sports now in Miami. On my left, Austin local, Andrew Tackett at a checkmat. So this is a crazy one. I mean, you guys have both been on the event before. But Mika, you haven't been on it since the gi one, the very first one. You were on that one as well. People may not remember. You've also came back and beat Sean Yad and Marco recently. First off, I'll go to you, Andrew. You guys are both around the same age. He's 17. You just turned 18. You've probably been expecting this match going to happen sooner or later for a while, right?
For sure. I've known Mika for a while. We've seen each other a lot in older IBJJF tournaments. I fought his teammates, and we've known each other for a while. So leading up to this match, I knew it was going to be a good fight, and I'm really excited for it.
Mika, you were really dominant last week at No-Gi Pans. It was your IBJJF No-Gi debut, your first ever heel hook. You could, does that feel good, having that momentum coming into this match?
Felt very good. Yeah, I've never fought in I've never fought on a IBJJF no-gi competition, so I felt like, man, this is good. I like it.
What about these rules? Do you think it changes anything for you?
No, I actually didn't take it just because that was my first one, so it was already on this rule set. So I was like, okay, good, I like it. And also, I've been practicing on those rules for a long time, like since last year, 2020. We started training in Manaus with the no-gi hooks and all, so I'm like very easy to it now.
Andrew, you're sort of more used to this scene than he is. I think that's fair to say. Do you think that gives you an advantage here?
For sure. I've been competing in the submission only points like no-gi tournament for a while. I'm pretty experienced with this type of competing, so I think it'll for sure give me a upper hand.
Do you realize how big of a star he is down in Brazil? He's got all these, like 100,000 followers. All these kids down in Brazil, big idol down there. What do you think about that?
Well, Mika's a great kid. Mika's a awesome person, so I for sure know why he's an idol down there. But it's not nerve-wracking at all for me going into this fight. I fought a lot of good guys. I've been fighting for a while, so I think it's just a good opportunity for me to take someone as high level as Mika in this fight.
All right, Mika, you've been, sort of trapped in Brazil during this whole COVID thing. You missed a lot of pro events. What do you think people who haven't seen you compete before can expect out of you tomorrow night?
I think they can expect a very good show because, Andrew's style and my style, they combine a lot. Not only because we seek for the submission all the time, but also because I think our combat style, no one knows how to predict what's going to happen there. So everybody can just expect a good show of it.
Yeah, I think everybody's super excited for this one. Connor, what's going on in the chat? Anybody got questions for these guys?
Yeah, some of our chatters actually had pre-typed questions for you just to make sure they came prepared. You both have quite a few fans in the chat. We had one for both of you guys from Alec Kearns. He joined us last week. Are either of you guys eyeing the North American trials for ADCC, and what weight would you plan on going at if you are?
Well, he would have to go South American trials. So are you trying to go North American? Are you going to ADCC trials, I guess is the question.
Definitely. I'm going to be doing the 77 kilogram division. I've been training for the ADCC trials, honestly, for like a long time now. It got delayed, and now it's coming back up again. So I've been training for the ADCC rule set for a while now. And you can look to see me in that division, and you can look to see me my best self in that tournament for sure.
Yeah, same goes for me. I was training for a little while to go for the trials in Brazil, but there I couldn't compete in the South trial because I was underage, and there's some difference in between Brazil and American because I could see, the Ruto brothers, they were competing, and in Brazil I couldn't, but I'm like, okay, I just need to train for the next one, and I'm planning on compete the 88 kilo.
Going 88?
Yeah.
Big boy.
I'm closer to 88 now.
All right. These guys are the same size right now, but they're going to be competing 20-something pounds apart at ADCC. You got anything else going on in there, Connor?
Yeah, so Mika, how do you feel about your gas tank, and have you been doing anything to maximize your cardio prior to this fight?
Yeah, I haven't trained exactly for just my cardio, but I've been training a lot, so I just feel very good with my cardio. I train every day, like me rowing and stuff and all, but I don't have a plan exactly like, this fight I need to do this. No, I just keep training. I feel like, today I'm feeling good with my cardio.
Also, Mika, any plans for MMA?
Not something I can just throw away, but yeah, maybe. I really like the blood and the punch in itself, but I have an history in jiu-jitsu, and I think I need to keep growing my name and all on it. But yeah, maybe.
Anything for Andrew in there before we get out of here?
I think right now we're kind of ran out of the questions, but I also think it's because no one can decide who they want to win. Someone said specifically that they don't want you guys to fight because they're such big fans of you both. So congrats, you guys have already won over the fan base.
Well, sorry to that guy, they're fighting. All right, this is our third and final prelim of the night. Mica Galvao, Andrew Tackett. I'd offer you guys a fat tire, but I'd go to jail. Up next, we'll be going to our first match on the main card. It'll be Oliver Taza and Jonathan Alves. Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye.
specialists and produce clips. Christine Darden predicted when the sonic boom hits. Data analysts and aeronautical engineers stands in painted sands. Native lands extend to the hemisphere. I tear through dimensions, rip the devil's layout, the heavens near. The remnants of rebels are resting there. Weapons of fear destroy the soul, nobody shed a tear. Curse been on us for 527 years. Some worship millionaires, I dedicated life to bring you air. Not a duplicate, so you should get the picture clear. I'd rather see us all succeed, but some don't get it. The greatest innovators did it not only for credit. Groundbreaking researcher like Ernest Everett studied embryonic development, improving methods. Life is not just about who connected. You like the movie? Then who directed? Pay for the product? Who collected? Support then? Who respected? A legacy can disappear in time if you neglect it. I keep track of the facts to be corrected. Insight innovates, the past is resurrected.
All right, here with on my left, Oliver Taza from the Danaher Death Squad. On my right, Jonathan Alves from Arte Jiu-Jitsu. Two very famous schools, two very unique styles. This is going to be our first match of the main card. It's going to be an exciting one to kick it off. First off, Taza, how you feeling? You won a narrow match against Johnny Tama last time. How you feeling going into your second match on who's number one?
Obviously, you know, first of all, very grateful to be here. Second of all, yes, second match on who's number one. First one, you know, narrow win, like you said, and obviously went back to the tape itself, did some corrections, watched what I did wrong, technically, strategically, and bringing a much better version this time around.
Jonathan, when was the last time you competed no gi?
That was like in 2018.
Were you like a purple belt or something?
Yeah, I was a purple belt. Yeah, that was the last time. No-gi Worlds.
So it's been a minute. How you feeling going into your first, no-gi match in almost 3 years?
Well, excited to compete again in no-gi. So that's how I started actually, training no-gi, and like after a while, that's when I started just focusing on gi, like totally focus on just competing in gi. Now I'm just excited. It's not because I wasn't like competing no gi that I wasn't trained. I was like definitely trained no gi. So I always have seasons, like gi season, no gi season, and I was always a part of the no gi season.
Does that make it a little tougher on you, knowing that this guy hasn't even had a no-gi match for you to look at in the last 3 years? You don't know what to expect?
Absolutely not, man. I know this guy's coming from a team like AOJ. I know they do their homework, they prepare adequately, they do their research, they train gi, no gi, they're pretty complete. So coming into this, there wasn't a part of me that was underestimating my opponent because he hasn't competed in 3 years. On the contrary, it was requested from their part. They requested the match, so I'm sure there's something in the back of their minds. They know some stuff. They're ready. So are we.
Yeah, AOJ has a very unique style, right? Like, how do you think that you're going to match up with that style?
I mean, I started training at TriStar Gym in Montreal, and my coach, Faraz Zahabi, is a big fan of the AOJ. They got to train together, and Faraz would bring that stuff back to us, their no-gi style, and I picked up a lot of stuff from it. The pressure on top, obviously the guard from bottom. Very complete game, going over tape study, like when I had to study a bit of my opponent, Janata, I was telling myself, okay, watching gi's good, but watching some no-gi stuff would be good, and I went to Rafa Mendes matches, because I know obviously it's going to translate in a way or another, their game. I'm sure there's some similarities.
So Jonathan, if you haven't competed in no-gi since purple, you've probably never done an event with heel hooks allowed, right?
No.
How do you think that changes things for you, having heel hooks? Do you think it helps you, or?
Well, you're always training, studying, trying to learn everything that's new in jiu-jitsu. So I have been training. So during the fight, you're just gonna do like whatever like we were training during the training camp, and we are just prepared like for any scenario. So it's a different game, it's a different style. Of course, I believe I'm ready for any scenario.
Yeah, it seems like the chatter that was when Cole and Jessa were doing this, where everybody saying, "Oh, their IBJJF points basically sort of died down after they both came out and looked really good." Connor, what's going on with our friends in the YouTube chat? You got questions for these guys?
Yeah, we got a few questions for everybody, so we can kick it off with one for Taza. Do you feel like trying to show off more of your game other than the leg locks has been taxing during your most recent matches or affected your performance at any?
Absolutely not. I don't think it has affected me in a negative way. On the contrary, it's just helping me get better. You know, I see competition as a stepping stone, you know, towards always improving, constantly improving, getting better and better. So on the contrary, man, I get out there, I'm always, you know, trying to test myself, trying to go back to the gym with things to work on, things to improve upon, and just keep getting better and better.
Awesome. As you both probably know, and our chatters are very aware, Fat Tire is sponsoring this one, and they're giving out $500 bonuses for anyone who gets a submission. So if you guys are going for a submission, what would both of your predictions be for how you sub each other?
You mean if Jonathan had to submit me?
Well, no, you can give, if you want to give that one, yeah, but I was thinking more, how do you see yourself subbing Jonathan, and vice versa, Jonathan?
I'll let you go first, Jonathan.
Well, just every fight is a different fight. We never know how the fight's gonna go until we step on the mat, and then we just do like the first grips. So I believe like I just want to go out there. I don't want to try to guess like what I'm gonna do. I don't have a specific game plan. So I have my game. I have like my techniques, and I just want to go there and display my jiu-jitsu. But of course, I'm always looking for a submission, but I cannot guess like what submission, because it's that every fight, every move is a different move. So every reaction is different reaction. So we cannot try to predict like how the fight's gonna go down.
If I had to pick a submission, obviously I'm going to go with the most reliable one, the safest one, the highest scoring, highest percentage, obviously the rear naked choke. I mean, leg locks can be good. 15 minutes in, 15-minute match, no gi, gets slippery. So if I have to pick one, I'll probably the rear naked strangle.
Hey, got anything else for him in their counter?
Yeah, one more question. So we know the smother choke at IBJJF didn't go super well for you, Oliver. We had a question, though, about the second one. You got the rematch in the absolute. And did Michael Sears taunting you, did that make you want to try the Python choke again?
I wasn't taunting him. I really thought it would be cool if you went out and did it a second time. Do you remember when I said that to you when you were on deck?
I was like, it's coming.
Yeah.
It's coming. I may as well do it again.
He got DQ'd for doing that in the IBJJF, and he was on deck against the same guy. I walked by him. I go, I bet you won't do it again. He didn't do it, though.
I didn't do it. I didn't get to his back. Luckily for me, I didn't get to his back that much.
All right, so we all good there? No more questions for these guys?
No more questions. No more questions worth it. Thank you, guys.
Who's up next in the order thing? I think up next we'll have Jessa and Patty Fontes, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, make sure you tune in for this one. First match of the main card tomorrow night. Jonathan Alves from AOJ, Oliver Taza from DDS. All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you, Michael.
In sight, behold as I unfold something phenomenal. I use the fuels of jewels to move molecules. Am I a fire that's fly? Liars are soluble, highly microscopical. While you do what is possible and challenge any obstacle, balancing the proper tools. Show 'em what you got to do when time is opportune. And soon you can.
All right, this is our unfortunately only women's match in this card. We had another one, but it sort of fell apart with somebody getting injured, having to pull out. But the really exciting strawweight division, I think everybody loves this division. A lot of great matches on who's number one from it already. On my right, black belt no-gi world champion Patty Fontes from Checkmat. On my left, Jessa Khan from Art of Jiu-Jitsu. All right, I'll start off with Jessa. First off, I mean, you've been on Who's Number One. This is, I think, your third time. I think there's no question this is your highest level of competition, though. What are you thinking of going in this match?
I'm very excited to have this match. I've been wanting this match. And just like I said before, whenever I fought Who's Number One a few months ago, I just want to fight all the high-level girls in my division and showcase what I can do.
Patty, what are you thinking about this one? Because you've gone against her before, but it was a few years ago. How do you think things will be different, or do you think it's going to be the same? Like, what do you think about this match now?
I think it's going to be different because she's been training for so long, but the result, hopefully the same.
Do you think that makes it tougher on you knowing that you won the first one and she's coming for revenge? And
I don't think it will be as tough as the last time because if you put this way, I was a black belt and she wasn't, so the whole responsibility was on me. So on that fight, I felt a lot of pressure that I had to do my job. And in this one, it's just I want to enjoy it and I want to have fun, and I know she has made it up to the level. So I think it's gonna be less of a pressure that I have to beat the lower belt.
yeah, less pressure. And what belt was she?
She was, I don't remember, blue or purple, yeah.
Okay, yeah. When you're in black belt, you don't want to lose to a
But
blue
it was
belt.
no Gitu, so
Yeah. Yeah, Jessa, how do you think things will be different this time around?
I think things are gonna be in my favor this time. She says it's gonna be easier, but I think it's gonna be much harder for her.
All right, Connor, the YouTube chat. Anybody got questions for the girls in there right now?
Yes, they do. Jessa, how do you see yourself winning this match? And do you see yourself getting that $500 fat tire submission bonus?
I'd say either toe hold or armbar.
Awesome. Also, and what's your walkout song and why?
Who asked that?
Oh, Steve, our OG moderator.
Yeah.
You guys would just have to see tomorrow night.
Oh, okay. And thoughts on heel hooks for Patty? Thoughts on heel hooks in IBJJF? How do you think it's going to affect the competition scene? And do you like it or not?
I like it. One more option for me.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Perfect. Also, one more for Patty. Who do you think would be the most interesting match on the rest of the card, aside from your guys', obviously, which is going to be fight of the night? Who else are you excited for?
Tackett. I think
versus Mika?
he will steal the show. In my opinion.
You got, I mean, obviously, your teammate. You got Tackett beat Mika in this match?
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right, we got four checkmat athletes. I think 3 from AOJ, right?
Yeah.
So a big contingent from both these teams this weekend. You guys want to tune in and watch this match. It's a great one between Patty Fontez, Jessa Khan. All right, thank you very much. I think up next will be Nicky Ryan and Gabriel Almeida. All right, fourth match on a super stacked main card. This is a middleweight match. On my left, Nicky Ryan from the DDS. On my right, Gabriel Almeida from Checkmat. First off, Nicky, you fought just 1 month ago.
Yes.
You beat PJ Bartz in decision. You weren't happy about that, though, right? You wanted to get back on ASAP. Explain why you wanted to get on Who's Number One ASAP after the last match.
Yeah. So like I said in previous interviews, I wasn't very happy with my my last performance. I know what I'm capable of, and I feel like I should have been able to put on a much more dominant performance. So when you go out and as an athlete and you perform and it's not it's not like as good as you could perform, it drives you insane. So like right after the match, I was like, I need to get back out there as soon as possible. So I was like hunting down the Flow guys. I was like, please get me a match on this next card, and thankfully you guys did.
Gabriel, obviously you're very experienced. Nicky's still young and up and coming, 19 years old. He's very experienced in himself too, but he's still progressing a lot. What do you think you can expect out of Nicky in this match?
Man, I think he's going to be pushing the match. I like when the guys push the match because I like to push back too. I'm super excited. Nicky's super good. I've been watching him like for a long time since he's showed up like super young. He's still young, but when we first heard about him, he was like already like super young. So man, I couldn't be more excited about it.
Nicky, you bumped up in weight for this one. You weighed in like 5 pounds under the limit with all your clothes on. Is that something that you think might be a factor, the size here?
No, I mean, I've trained with Gordon, Nick Rod, Craig, so, I'm used to training with the big boys. So I don't think, obviously it'll play some role, but I don't think it'll play too much of a role.
Gabriel, what do you think about matching up with a DDS guy? There's so much tape on them out there. They main event so many events. What do you think about their style? Obviously, the leg locks, the back attacks and stuff. How do you think you match up with them?
Man, I know, like, I like to have game anywhere, so, like, top, bottom, standing. I've seen they're doing a lot of wrestling lately, They've been trying to wrestle a lot. And, I mean, if it comes to wrestle me, I'm ready, too. So we'll see how it goes.
All right, Connor, the YouTube chat. What's going on over there?
Yeah, Nicky, people were curious about the PJ match. What was your one biggest takeaway from it, and will you continue to try that wrestling up game that you had kind of dedicated yourself going into it?
Yeah, so my biggest takeaway was, after the match, I sat down with John and Gordon and a bunch of the guys, and, we talked about what we thought could have been better. Probably the biggest thing was the pacing, In our rounds in the gym, they're generally like 6 to 8 minutes, and we do like a half hour of training straight. But when you get used to those 6 to 8 minute rounds, you can do a sprint for 6 to 8 minutes. When you watch wrestling matches, they're all very high paced because they're super short. So if you watch my match with PJ and even my match with Ty, you'll see me come out super hard and aggressive, and then as the match goes on, I tend to fade towards the end. A big part of this training camp was just learning to pace myself. So, after every session, we do a 15-minute round where I make sure I pace myself. I start out slow and then build up and end strong.
Awesome. And one for you, Gabriel. And I apologize for the last podcast. I kept pronouncing your name wrong. The wisdom of the
How were you
chat-
saying his name?
I was saying Almeida. I've been told it's Almeida, and I apologize. The chat, the wisdom of them, they set me straight. But we got a question for you. How or did you change your game plan at all for this upcoming fight?
Man, I don't change my game plan, like for anyone. I'm just going there to do my best and going for the kill, So I'm training hard, like with all my partners, I have my game plan. I'm gonna push the match, and it's not because of one opponent I'm gonna change it. Of course, there's some particularities of each opponent. You're gonna like learn a little bit about their games, but I just train the same way as I did,
Awesome. And we got another one for you, Nicky. What aspect of your game do your opponents underestimate the most, in your opinion?
I would say it's tough between wrestling and passing. Like I've said in previous interviews, I haven't been out there too much lately. I haven't been competing too often. So I've developed a lot of skills over the past 1 to 2 years that a lot of people haven't seen. And, I'm pretty well known for my guard and leg attacks and things like that. But when you watch me training in the gym, I feel like people would be most impressed with my wrestling and passing.
As somebody who's seen him train in the gym, I concur. This is going to be a great match. Nicky Ryan from the DDS. Gabriel made it from Checkmat. Same type of matchup as our main event, Checkmat versus DDS. It's going to be a great one to watch. Up next will be our 4th match of the evening, Vagner Hosha versus Josh Hing. All right, thanks, guys.
Been honest for 527 years. Some worship millionaires. I dedicated life to bring you air. Not a duplicate, so you should get the picture clear. I'd rather see us all succeed, but some don't get it. The greatest innovators did it not only for credit. Groundbreaking researcher like Ernest Everett studied embryonic development, improving methods. Life is not just about who connected. You like the movie? Then who directed? Pay for the product? Who collected? Support then? Who respected? A legacy can disappear in time if you neglect it. I keep track of the facts to be corrected. Insight innovates, the past is resurrected.
All right, this is our fourth match of the main card. This is one of the most exciting matches on the card. I think the fans really liked this one when we announced it. It's Vagner Hosha from Fight Sports on my left, Josh Hinger from Atos on my right. I mean, you guys are both veterans of the game, never met in competition somehow. Vagner, what do you think about this matchup?
I think it's an awesome match. I've been asking for it for a minute. Josh is a guy who I've been watching for a long time, accomplished in many different formats. IBJJF, he was did very well in ACB for a long time, and ADCC as well in the last run. So somebody who's been on my radar, and again, didn't fight him, and I've faced almost everybody in every division at this point. So he was on my list.
Yeah, Josh. So I mean, you've never gone against Vagner. He's gone against some of your teammates. Obviously JT a couple times and stuff. How do you think the match is going to go down? How do you think you match up with him going out there?
I'm going to win.
Fair enough. Are you excited to go against?
I'm just kidding. I'm not kidding. I'm going to win.
I like your confidence.
No, I'm just looking forward to it. Yeah, it's going to be a good scrap. I like aggressive jiu-jitsu. Wagner's the pinnacle of aggressive jiu-jitsu. And I think it's going to be fun.
You excited to go against somebody who likes to stand up, likes to wrestle a little bit and stuff?
Yeah, of course, yeah. It is kind of annoying when people pull guard right off the bat. I don't know, maybe Wagner's going to pull guard, you don't know.
It's a slight chance. Slight chance.
There's always a chance. Nothing's impossible.
Nothing's impossible. That's right. You never know what could happen in a match. But I don't know. I don't see guard pulling on this one. But
I didn't think Yuri was going to pull guard against Nicky Rod either. I mean,
exactly.
Stuff happens sometimes.
He kind of pulled guard before he got to Nicky Rod with somebody else.
Sometimes you get bored out there and you got to mix it up.
He pulled guard before he got to Nicky Rod with someone else, and he said, "Yeah, Nicky Rod might be a little harder than the other guy I had to pull guard for."
So, Josh, Wagner's been super active in the last year, one of the most active competitors. The only things you've done has been Masters gi matches for a while, right? Do you think that's going to affect you going out there? Or are you looking forward to getting out there and competing at the highest level no gi again?
No gi jiu-jitsu, I think for me, is just like riding a bike, man. I don't ever lose it. It doesn't go away. I didn't stop training. I was always training no gi too with the team. So they were getting ready for no gi Panza. I was in there training with them.
How about you? You think that's going to be an advantage for you? You've been a little bit more active?
I'm just another old guy, like all the other old guys he beats up.
How old are you?
39 in a week.
39 tomorrow.
Ooh, look at that. See?
Happy birthday tomorrow. Josh Hanger competing on his
Thank
birthday.
You. Gemini too?
Gemini.
Ooh, look at that.
Yeah.
Dude, Gemini's throwing down.
Geminis are the
basically
crazy.
a week apart in birthdays. Look, we're the same age.
We're the crazy ones.
Exact same age.
Does this give me all the Masters titles you have once I beat you?
It is linear like that.
Does that make me the best Masters guy in the world?
You'd have to beat me in a gi.
I'm good.
When's the last time you did a gi match? Was that when you broke?
That's when I kicked AJ off stage.
That's when I became a fan of you, actually.
The last time I did a gi match.
Yeah, I saw that happen. You said, never turn your back on a martial artist. I said,
and then I said, nah, I'm good. I don't want to do this anymore.
All right, Connor, the YouTube chat, do the fans got any questions for these guys?
They do. Ricardo is in the chat right now, and he had a question. What were you guys saying to each other during the weigh-ins?
He was complimenting my eyes.
Oh.
Yeah.
I wasn't. I wasn't. I was trying to measure up how much reach I need around his shoulders when I come around the backside. He gave me a bear hug in the lobby, so I figured I'd return with this gesture. I was like,
I gave him a little squeeze. I wanted to feel his core power and see what he's got.
He just squeezed me like he missed me. I'm like, wow, I've never gotten hugged like that before.
We got another one, and this one's for you, Vagner. From the chat, is the person who pulls guard a coward, and if so, why?
No, I don't think so. That's a great question. I honestly think, each person has their game. If you fight in that manner and you need to pull guard and you whatever you need to do to get a win, I'm not saying that that's what I'm going to do this weekend, but I don't believe that pulling guard is being a coward. I think jiu-jitsu is such a broad sport, and as opposed to like all the other sports, where you have, wrestling, for example, you don't want to be on your back, but in jiu-jitsu you have the option to do that, so it's checkers versus chess, so this is more of a chess game. So you have options, if you like, if you see how many guys are successful pulling guard, you know. So
Yeah, I agree.
you can't hate on that.
I agree. There's a lot of guys.
But
out
to
there.
which his own, and for me and Josh, I know for a fact that that's not our game. We want to battle for the position, and I believe it's important to have that skill set to be able to battle for the position, which most people don't in this sport. They don't have the skill set to battle for. Like, you know what? I want top, and you're gonna play bottom, and that's what it is. Some people are like, I can't fight you for that, so I'll concede. And to me, that's a first battle right there. Like, you already conceded, I already won. You know, so it is what it is.
That's a tough question for Vagner because if he says yes, I mean, there's like 20 people outside he's calling a coward. So that's a tough one to give him.
There's a lot of guys out there who pull guard for me, and ask them how it worked out.
There you go.
Connor, what else is going on in there?
Yeah, we got one for Josh. First off, let me plug you real quick. When's the Matt Byrne podcast coming back? The fans want to know.
Yeah, this is Keenan's fault. Of
Yep.
course. He got really busy, and what it turned out to be was that I was always free during the week, and he was only free on the weekends, and we just couldn't get ourselves organized. And he opened his academy. He was a busy guy, and we just got busy. That's all. And then really, what it was, I think, is COVID. When COVID came around, and it's like we tried to have a few episodes, and what do you talk about?
You
during
would
that
figure it'd
pandemic?
be easier during COVID. You guys had less things to do.
We had nothing to talk about, though. There's no jiu-jitsu happening, And then, of course, and Keenan, he loves those conspiracy theories, and so he'll start like going in that direction and talking about politics, and that's not really what we wanted to do with it. But we talked about it coming back, maybe.
Yeah, I feel you. I used to host a podcast with Keenan, and it's hard to keep a schedule with that guy. But Connor, what else? Got any other questions for these guys?
Yeah, one more, and we'll keep it competition based. Josh, do you have any plans for ADCC 2022?
Yeah, I'm planning on it. As far as I understand, I'm getting an invite because I think all the podium placers get invites. So yeah, it's on my schedule. I'm saving the date, and I'll be there.
You guys will be in the same division this time around, right? You'll probably be
I
going
don't know.
88.
You sticking up there? You staying up at 88?
I'm coming up, bro.
That's why we never had the match.
Yeah, because we're always
He was
different weight
always
classes.
he was always down doing 77.
Josh, do you think it's going to mess with you when Vagner gets out there and starts talking and stuff? Because, I mean, everybody always acts like it won't, but then I see people get rattled. How do you think you're going to react when you get out
I don't
there?
know, Vagner. What are you gonna say? What kind of stuff do you say?
It all depends on what you do.
He says funny shit sometimes.
I do good stuff. I'm part comedian on the mat.
So you just kind of pick apart what the person is doing.
I'm gonna tell you everything you're doing wrong, and everything you're doing right, and everything you're never gonna do again.
You're gonna throw some compliments out there?
I do it all the
Oh,
time.
that was nice.
I do it like, hey, that was nice, but you won't do it again.
Nice.
So
Okay.
it will definitely come out sometime in the match.
We were talking about strategy right before we came in here, and Vagner was explaining to me that back when he was fighting MMA, someone taught him a strategy that he thought was very effective, and he's thinking of using, which is get yourself super stinky, don't shower, and walk out on the mat smelling like ass.
That's this guy did to me in an MMA fight once. I was right. I was telling him it was
Horrible.
horrible.
Yeah.
It looked
I
like he
should
didn't
make that
shower
against
for
the-
3 days.
I should make that against the rules here. I don't want to come across that shit.
Yeah, it was horrible. I said, why would you do that? And he goes, because my stink doesn't bother me.
Imagine putting on like a stinky rash guard that you had trained in for a few days already, and you throw it on there and then go out there for the match.
Yeah,
That'd be
the
horrible.
whole time I was thinking about his smell. I was like, oh. I remember being disconcentrated by how bad this guy smelled.
If somebody shows up like that, I'm not inviting them back. Fuck that.
It's kind of part of war, you know?
All right, well, Josh Anger, no matter what you do, don't turn your back on this guy tomorrow night. Both you guys,
I
please
won't.
take showers before you come here.
I will not kick him. I've learned my lesson. The internet does not like that.
There's no stage anyway.
Some people did.
I
Some
think
did.
a lot of people liked it.
I thought it was funny.
Josh loved it.
Some people didn't like it.
But, all right, up next will be the co-main event of the evening, Mikey Musumeci versus Lucas Pinedo. Thanks, guys. All right, co-main event of the evening. On my right, Lucas Pinedo from Atlas. My left, Mikey from the ridiculously named Boobs Garage, BJJ. First off, let's talk with Mikey. You did your first no-gi match in a while, that match against Marcel Cohen, who's number one. You said you've basically just gone all in on no-gi since then, huh?
Yeah, like, do I have to talk into the...
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah, like, after that Who's Number One event, it was just so much fun competing, you know, so I got so excited to do no-gi again. So then after that, I wanted to just keep doing no-gi.
Did you watch the Marcelo match, and what do you think about it?
I think it was a great match for both. Mikey is a very technical guy, very smart guy as well, and I think he did well. Yeah.
So you guys have fought before, right?
Yes.
Both matches, the hardest fights ever.
We did it as in 2015 as the World's Brown Belt final, and then in 2016 Pan Am's final.
When did you pass his guard?
2016.
You gonna do it again?
I will try. It's not easy, but I will try. I will try to do my best.
So, Mikey, Lucas has got that number one ranking in your weight class. You're pretty low because you just came back to no-gi scene, but I mean, you're a no-gi world champion at black.
Yeah.
Is that number one ranking something that you're after?
Yeah, it's more not about the ranking, just fighting the best people, you know, and Lucas is the best person in this division, so it's an honor to compete with him, you know. I just want to push myself to get better and fight the best. So that's why I'm here, and that's why I'm competing.
Lucas, both times you guys fought was no-gi, right?
Yes.
Do you think you hold an advantage or disadvantage in no-gi against them?
I think it's gonna be the same, you know, like, I think the only thing is changing right now is about my mentality, you know, like, and before when I compete against Mike, I was more like put pressure on myself, you know, like worry about the lose, you know. Right now I wanna just step on the mat and push myself, push him as well. He know that, and I know how much he's good and how much he's gonna push me to getting better, you know, and that's why I'm here to do my best. That's why I accept to fight him, because I know he can push me to another level, and I can do the same to him.
Wow, your nickname's the Bad Boy, right?
Yes.
What do they call you that for?
Because when I was in Brazil, I was like too trouble, you know, like I was like fighting with people, you know, like doing like different things. I did MMA in Brazil as well. I did 3 fights in Brazil, and then I was too trouble and everything, but yeah. Inside the mat, I'm a bad boy. Outside the mat, I'm a good boy. You know, I'm a father now. I have a family. I have a daughter, and I want to be a good example for my daughter. Also for my fans as well.
We got to come up with a tough nickname like that for you, Mikey. We got to think of Mikey Bad Boy Musumeci.
Bad Boy, yeah.
Connor, what's going on in the YouTube chat?
We have a few questions. First off, one for both of you. What is your pre-fight meal? Also,
we know that from Mikey.
What's your post-fight meal? Yeah, what's your celebration?
Mikey only eats one thing, so all right, you go first. Pre-fight and post-fight meal.
Pre-fight meal, pasta. Post-fight meal, pasta.
Jesus.
Yeah, pretty much that.
We got video of this guy's eating habits. Just wait till we release it. What do you eat? How many calories do you eat every night?
7,000.
7,000 calories, basically all
Just
carbs.
one meal a day.
Just pizza and pasta. Eats one time a day. What are you gonna eat before and after?
Chicken salad. And after chicken salad.
Same carbs?
Yeah.
So you
I
just
love chicken.
All right, so chicken salad is like your pasta. Just chicken salad before and
every
after.
Day, yeah.
Every day?
Every day.
That's
I eat chicken
impressive.
every day.
Yeah.
Usually I take coffee, black coffee, twice a day, and then on the middle of the day, like eating some chicken and salad, and at night I do the same thing.
Mikey, do you think that him eating chicken salad and you eating pasta is a disadvantage for Lucas going into this?
I don't think food has any advantage or disadvantage, but I just like pasta. So that's it.
All right. Connor, what else is going on in there?
Mikey, what is it that you do to stay as absolutely positive as you always seem to be?
I feel like in the past I was around a lot of negative people, you know, and they put a lot of pressure on me and like made me not really like jiu-jitsu. But then when I started like just surrounding myself with good, positive people, I stopped really caring what people thought of me, and I was just myself, you know, and I just have a small group of people that I care about, and that's pretty much it. So I just am here to have fun, and then win or lose, I just care about those people, no one else.
All right, I'm sure people are already speculating about who's Mikey referring to as negative people. There's a lot of options. Mikey's been on a lot of different teams, but we got any questions for Lucas in there?
Yeah, actually. What was it like trying to pass Mikey's guard the last time, and how do you think that's going to play into this no-gi game? What are you expecting for it?
To be honest, the first time that I passed Mikey's guard, it's like when I started like fighting against him in the first like 3 minutes, he almost like took my bag, and then after that I was like, I turned myself to the other like, I started thinking about the other things. I was like, man, now I gotta be like more bad boy, more like aggressive guy, and I started putting pressure on him, and I was thinking about every time like I cannot give him the opportunity because he's too good. If he take advantage of me, he gonna do something well, and I'm gonna lose the match, right? And then right now, it's gonna be the same. You both know that, like that's gonna be the same. I'll be pushing myself 100%. I'll be doing my job that I did before, and I hope both of us can do a great match.
Yeah,
for
like
the fans.
like what Lucas said, like he's like one of the strongest minded people that I've ever fought, you know. So like he pushes me so much to get better, and like I have to push my mind as well. So both of us are just gonna be pushing our minds and pushing each other to get better, you know. That's how I see this match happening, and it's gonna be like so exciting because both of us are just going to be pushing. So it's super awesome.
Also, you're gonna try to meet each other. That's the goal, right?
I hope you do.
Better not stalling.
All right. All right, I'll let you guys get going. Lucas, go get some chicken
Thanks,
salad,
man.
a little
Yes,
pasta
sir.
for Mikey. It's the co-main event of the evening tomorrow night. Up next, we'll have Craig Jones and Luiz Panza.
Microscopical while you do what is possible and challenge any obstacle. Balancing the proper tools, show 'em what you got to do when time is opportune. And soon you can walk through the reflection in the picture on the wall of Charles Drew. Pioneering doctor who developed methods of blood transfusions. Who went to Amherst College in Massachusetts. I studied science and deliver ruthless rap acoustics. Last forever with benevolent evolutions. Remove fools that prove useless and produce clips. Christine Darden predicted when the sonic boom hits. Data analyst and aeronautical engineer stands in painted sands. Native lands extend to the hemisphere. I tear through dimensions, rip the devil's lair out the heavens near. The remnants of rebels are resting there. Weapons of fear destroy the soul, nobody shed a tear. Curse been on us for 527 years. Some worship millionaires, I dedicated life to bring you air. Not a duplicate, so you should get the picture clear. I'd rather see us all succeed, but some don't get it.
Should I be closer here?
All right, here's your main event of the evening. We got Craig Jones on my left, Luiz Panza on my right. Craig Jones stepped in late for Gordon Ryan's taking a little break for health. Remember, this event's brought to you by Fat Tire. They're giving a $500 submission bonus to anybody who hits a sub. This is my last one of the evening. I'm going to crack one of these open. Anybody want one?
Man, they're paying submission bonus. I'm going to have one of these beers.
Take one of these. Luiz, you want a beer?
No.
All right, no beer for Luiz. I'll
Thank
crack
you.
these things open.
But I heard it's very good.
It's also carbon neutral. So, hey.
Carbon neutral beer?
Yeah,
Oh, shit.
shout out Fat Tire.
Cracking this thing with a lighter like a pro. You said you can open them with your teeth?
I can't, no, sadly. But it's a very Australian thing to do it.
Luiz, when we told you that Gordon Ryan was out and we offered you Craig Jones, what was going through your head, and what did you think about the change to the match?
Dude, honestly, I felt bad for Gordon because we're athletes. We know like how bad it is if something happens that serious that we have to pull out of anything. So we all know Gordon, it's not his style of pulling out. If it wasn't something like super serious, of course, I'm pretty sure he was gonna be in. And I'm just really thankful for Craig just for stepping up like in the last time, like almost like a week before the event. Though that means a lot as a fighter, as a competitor. And that's why I always tell all my students, all my friends that we gotta be always ready because we never know when something might happen. So we have to be up to whatever.
So Craig, almost immediately after I got the text from Gordon that was out, you hit me up and said you wanted to go in. Explain to the people why you wanted to take this match so badly.
Well, I mean, obviously, first and foremost, it'd be great to compete against Luiz, but I really felt bad because I messed up the last show with the COVID vaccine thing, and I was like, oh, I got to get these guys back, do them a favor for, again, messing up the last show.
So you've been out doing on the Ultimate Fighter show for the last few weeks, right?
Yep.
So it's been sort of an abnormal training camp for you. Do you think that's going to affect you going out there?
I really hope not. Like, I was trying to stay in shape. Obviously, when you're coaching MMA guys, like especially for the show, it was only a short time. But I really felt obligated to commit and do a very good job because, again, MMA fighters, they're risking injury there. So I really put aside my training and focused on those guys. And MMA really, although jiu-jitsu is a factor in it, jiu-jitsu is not a really big factor based on the rule set. But I really tried to make sure I stayed in shape. Obviously, when I heard that Gordon was going to be out, had a tough training session, made sure the cardio was up to scratch before, because obviously I don't want to come in against such a seasoned grappler like Luiz out of shape. I feel like that would be disrespectful.
Obviously, these guys are teammates, Luiz, but how much different of a match do you think it'll be with Craig versus Gordon? Does it change the way you're going to do things or anything?
I think that the change, the biggest change, of course, like the level is pretty much the same, because I've been seeing them like since the very beginning. They might not know that, but I've seen them like ever since they were lower belts. Because I'm always like, I'm passionate about it. I'm always watching the new big things that are coming since the very beginning, always trying to, of course, evolve my game, and I teach as well, and like the more I know, the more I see. So the level, I'm pretty sure is like right there. So at that point, I always say like fighting jiu-jitsu is like being a runner. You reach to a level that you have to train to improve like less than a second in your rate, right? So I'm pretty sure it's right there. The level, of course, Gordon is been improving a lot, but Craig is also doing the same, being part of it and being like fighting each of them. It's a lot important for me, mostly because of everything that I've been going through in like 11 years of black belt in the past couple years. That means a lot to me. That means a lot just for being invited for that. And the biggest change will be because the mindset for 30 minutes is a little different for the mindset for 15 minutes.
Sure.
I guess it's like we all like got a lot to enjoy.
Yeah, really looking forward to this one. Connor, what's going on in the YouTube chat? They got anything to say to these guys?
Yeah, they do. We have a few. Craig, I'll start off with you. What do you think is the most dangerous part of Luiz's game?
I mean, obviously, Luiz is cross Achilles lock. I think he's finished tons of people with that submission. I think he's well known for that, but I do respect all areas of his game. I think it's just like me. A lot of people think I only do heel hooks because that's the first line of attack, and it works so often that people don't really respect the variety of my game. So I would imagine it's exactly the same for Luiz. Very few people get past his first line of attack, so they don't necessarily see the full variety of his game.
Awesome. And we have one for Luiz. We've been told that you are an expert with nunchucks. And did you bring them to Austin, Texas, and will we see them on the walkout?
No, not at all. It was so many years ago.
It's legit. I've seen it.
Yeah, first time it was funny because first time I got a nunchucks in my hand, I had my coach, Tony Gonzalez. Dude, we are like best friends, and then I told him, dude, do you trust a ninja? And then he went like, why? Put a pen on your mouth. First time, I never touched a nunchuck before. And then everyone got their phones like, man, if it goes wrong, it will be fun. If it goes right, it will be awesome. And then I took the pen over his mouth. And I look at it, like, oh, man, I might be good at that. Then I start practicing. But it was so many years ago. Now I don't have time for that anymore. So kids take all my time.
Okay, I wish we had some nunchucks here. I'd make Craig put a pen in his mouth.
I wanted you to put the pen in your mouth.
Yeah.
People would probably like to see me get smacked more.
What if
Craig.
we put a cigarette in your mouth? It's like,
if we had a nunchuck, just the head off.
Yeah, people would.
I've done that too.
People would like to see me get smacked in the face with some nunchucks. All right, Connor, what else is going on in the chat?
Yeah, Craig, with Gordon out right now, we don't know kind of what the future holds for him. If you were to get the victory, are you expecting to be at that #1 spot? And if you do get to the #1 spot, will you put a discount on your OnlyFans?
Well, actually, I've been the one. Me and Nat have been coordinating the poisoning of Gordon Ryan. It's been a slow process, but obviously we've hit that tipping point. He's been suffering in training, but we finally hit the tipping point where he's had to pull out. So I really hope the medical experts don't work out that we were actually poisoning him. But no, I mean, I think like I take that #2 spot because no one ever argues. If you claim you're the second best in the world, no one's going to fight over that. You know what I mean? But if I start claiming I'm the best in the world, there's going to be a lot of disagreement. So that's really, I hope I'll stay in the number 2 position.
So that's your aspiration, is to be number 2 forever.
That's the goal. Yeah, we might have to change the name of the show.
Also, Craig, this is what the fans have got to know.
Uh-oh.
What is happening with Gabby Garcia and Michael Sears? Why is that not on one of these upcoming Who's Number Ones?
What's happening? I mean, I've been terrorizing her. So anytime I see her on the live stream on Instagram, I start calling her out, talking smack on there. Anytime, like the other day, I ran into a girl that actually trains under her, so I FaceTimed her from her phone, and then Gabby answered. It was me on the phone talking smack to her. So I mean, it's gonna happen. I think we're just trying to work out when it's gonna happen. Gabby's got MMA obligations with Ryzen, but yeah, it's definitely gonna happen.
I think she's doing stuff with Marvel too. She's a busy girl. Luiz,
Dude, that thing was so funny. We were all expecting for that. Then on the arm wrestling, I knew you were gonna lose on that one. I don't know why.
She's strong, yeah.
Awesome. And Luiz, we got one more for you. If there's a weakness that you see in Craig's game going into it, are you willing to call it out right now? What's your game plan attacking everyone's favorite Aussie?
Do you know why? I think it's the same that he just said. Like he has like his A attacks, and like I don't see weakness, because everything I watched he was like pretty solid on that, and it's about like trusting on our adversity and also our versatility. What I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a great show because of that. Because most times, as he just said, like some people didn't go across our main submissions at the first moments, and if we can put on like a really good fight, showing that both of us we got a lot more jiu-jitsu to show than just a footlocks, because it's been so long that I don't get anybody's foot. But I'm pretty sure it's gonna be an awesome fight, an awesome experience for everybody, not just both of us.
All right, I think everyone's really looking forward to this one tomorrow. 2 submission hunters, number 1 contender match. Winner gets Gabby Garcia. Make sure you tune in. FloGrappling, Who's Number 1, Craig Jones versus Luiz Panza tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Eastern.